wish upon a star. Makes no difference who you are. Anyone you'd like to hear will come to you. Hello there. We're here in medieval Scotland, and we'll talk about some characters from Brave, starting with King Fergus. King Fergus is a loud, jolly man who gets along with most anyone. Although he often gets annoyed at the antics of his triplet sons, he knows how to have a good time and is actually quite patient. King Fergus loves fighting and is very happy to have raised a daughter who will stand up for herself. Although Fergus's marriage to his wife Eleanor was arranged, he loves her dearly. The fact that the two are polar opposites only serves to make their marriage stronger. As a young man, Fergus lost one of his legs in a fight with a bear named Mordu. As a result, he hates all bears, but he loves telling the tale of the battle. Now here is Mordu. Once an arrogant prince, Mordu now lives his life as a monstrous bear. As a human, he allowed his pride to drive a rift between himself and his family. Unwilling to mend the bond he had broken, Mordu found himself cursed to remain a bear forever. Although Mordu is covered in black fur, his body features numerous scars, the result of his battles with humans, including King Fergus. Over the years, he has one glowing yellow eye and one dead red eye. He has the strength of 10 men and can only be stopped at last by another bear, Eleanor, whose humanity shines through as she protects her daughter. Now here is Merida. Headstrong and independent, Merida wants to do things her own way. Although she has a close relationship with her father and brothers, Merida's relationship with her mother is strained. She hates having to behave like a proper lady and finds the social etiquette her mother tries to teach her tedious. She also feels that her mother puts far too much emphasis on custom and what is expected of her as a princess, with no allowance for having fun. Merida would much rather spend her days in the woods, riding her horse Angus, and practicing her archery. Despite her distaste for cultural customs, Merida is not totally willing to disregard the myths of her land. She finds the wisps intriguing and boldly follows them when they appear.
Did you know that?
Merida has more than 111,700 hairs on her head. If her hair was straightened, it would reach down past her knees. Throughout the movie, Merida wears a total of 22 different costumes and has 5 different hairstyles.
Now you know.
Here are Harris, Hubert, and Hamish. Merida's 3 younger brothers are always ready to stir up a little mischief. The identical triplets never speak, and only Merida and her mother can tell them apart. While Merida is expected to act like a lady, her brothers run around the castle causing trouble. The 3 love a good prank, from tying Fergus's wooden leg to the table to instigating a brawl between visiting lords. They are also particularly fond of sweets and can often be bribed to behave with the promise of dessert. This is Angus. Black as night with a white muzzle and hooves, Angus is Merida's best friend and most trusted confidant. Like his mistress, Angus has a tendency to be stubborn. He has also shown himself at times to be easily scared, but Angus would never allow his fear to stop him from protecting Merida. He is fiercely loyal to her, as she is to him. The two share a strong, loving bond, so much so that Merida will not allow anyone else to see to his care. Meet Queen Eleanor. Eleanor is elegant and ladylike, as she believes a queen should be. She understands that her role in the kingdom is that of a diplomat and often steps in to resolve quarrels between her husband and neighboring lords. Her position requires her to be strict and stubborn, especially with Merida, whom she educates in the customs and traditions of their people. Eleanor thinks that knowing her kingdom's history is important, as there is much to learn from the past, and she believes strongly that people should follow the path laid out for them rather than blazing their own way. She expects Merida to act like a princess and does not take kindly to Merida's insistence that she wants to do things differently. Like Merida, Eleanor is strong-willed. However, she approaches challenges with the calmness befitting a queen rather than the rashness often shown by her daughter. It is not until she is turned into a bear and later back into a human that Eleanor comes to accept the idea of Merida's following her own path.
Did you know that?
Eleanor's name means shining light in Gaelic. The look of Eleanor's dress was created by covering matted silk with metallic paint. This gave animation artists something to study when completing her gown.
Now you know.
Meet Lord and Wee Dingwall. The scrappy, quick-tempered Lord Dingwall never lets his diminutive stature get in the way of solving problems. He wishes to be in charge at all times, loves a high-spirited fight, and has no problem taking on even the burliest adversary. Wee Dingwall, on the other hand, while loyal to his father, doesn't seem to have the same fighting spirit. He spends most of his time with his head in the clouds, unaware of what is going on around him. Any success he has, as in the archery competition when he is vying for Merida's hand in marriage, seems entirely accidental. This is Lord and young MacGuffin. Lord MacGuffin is a man of few words, but those he does speak demand respect. He's considered the most reasonable and even-tempered of the kingdom's 3 lords. Lord MacGuffin likes to laugh, and little makes him laugh harder than a good brawl. His son, young MacGuffin, is a calm, gentle lad. In spite of his great size and strength, he's incredibly shy and hates being the center of attention. Young MacGuffin speaks in a Scottish dialect that almost no one can understand and relies on his father to translate for him. Here are Lord and young Macintosh. The Macintosh clan hails from the Scottish Highlands. Lord Macintosh's body is covered in blue paint, and he usually wears a savage smile. A proud man, Lord Macintosh is quick to take offense at any perceived slight and is ready to jump into battle at any moment. Luckily, his bark is worse than his bite. His son, young Macintosh, is incredibly sure of himself and his abilities, so much so that he often comes across as arrogant. He is also rather melodramatic and does not take well to losing. In spite of this, he is seemingly a kind man. He is incredibly loyal to his father and appears to value his friendships with young MacGuffin and Wee Dingwall.
Did you know that?
The Macintosh clan's blue body paint follows a Pictish tradition. The paint is meant to give protection from swords in battle and provide strength against enemies, and young Macintosh is ambidextrous.
Now you know.
This is Maudie. As nursemaid to Merida's 3 younger brothers, Maudie has her hands full. In addition to her duties caring for the children of the castle, she has also been seen to deliver messages to Queen Eleanor. Maudie is easily frightened, and as a result has a hard time keeping the triplets in line. But she cares about the children and at times even serves as a sounding board for Merida. And this is the witch. The witch is a woodcarver by trade. She lives in a small hut in the woods with her pet crow and relies on her knowledge of magic to help with her work. Although she dislikes being asked to do magic for others, she's willing to perform her spells for a fee. The witch is neither good nor bad. She simply gives her customers what they want, although not always in the way they may expect. And that's all I got for Brave. Join me next time, and we'll shrink down to bug size and explain characters from A Bug's Life.